Respect for the rule of law has broken down. In Chicago, I suggest the so-called sanctuary policies are one sad example of that. American lives are victimized as a result of sanctuary city policies, whether it be theft, robbery, drugs, assault, battery, even murder.
So that was the AG, Jeff Sessions, flying to Miami, Florida yesterday, delivering a major speech slamming sanctuary cities, pointing to places like Chicago as an example of how policies have failed and have led to a growing spike in crime. That's the case he is making there. Ned Ryan, former speechwriter for President George W. Bush, and former DNC staffer Pablo Manriquez here to talk about this, and good day to both of you, gents. So Miami-Dade said, forget it, we don't want to lose the money. Right. We're going to go ahead and concede to your demands. If we detain somebody, we will notify federal authorities if they are illegal, whether they're convicted or not. I think the bottom line so far is that money talks.
Well, the other thing, though, that we've just got to go back to and understand is these sanctuary cities are in defiance of the law and harboring illegals. All the government is asking is that they hold on to these illegal criminals for 48 hours so the ICE agents can come either arrest or deport them. And I think the thing about this bill is, you know, you look at what has taken place over the last few years. There was a study a few years ago by the Government Accountability Office that showed of the 251,000 illegal criminals that they studied, they had been arrested 1.7 million times and committed 3 million crimes. That's an average of 7 arrests and 12 crimes per illegal. So
that seems a bit off, Ned.
No, this is Government Accountability Office, and so you look at, is this really a good use of our law enforcement? And I think what you're seeing is Jeff Sessions and others saying, first of all, you're in defiance of the law. This is not a good use of your funds, and all we're asking is that you hold on to these people for 48 hours so that ICE can show up and either arrest them or deport them.
The administration's making the case this is about public safety. Pablo, go.
Well, I mean, the police are making the case that it's not about public safety. It's actually about a big government overthrow of their responsibilities. The Fraternal Order of Police is an organization that represents hundreds of thousands of our men and women in blue. These are people who are typically aligned with Jeff Sessions. They go out of their way in many ways to be aligned with Jeff Sessions, and they are completely against this sanctuary city policy that he's trying to oppose on it. And it's not just police, it's organizations of faith too, and that's important. Catholic organizations, Jewish organizations, evangelical organizations. No one is for this because it's an attack on families.
If you focus on the criminal illegals, right, and which is where the real focus is, well, most Americans are in agreement on this, that we should not. First of all, they're here illegally, and they're the ones, again, as that study showed, committing a lot of these crimes, which, by the way, the percentage of violent crimes, murder, etc., 10, 12, 15%. So right, it's one of those things that this is to protect the law and to protect the American citizens and the American taxpayer.
But if we take gentlemen, Ron DeSantis, a congressman, he was at that event yesterday, I do believe, in Florida. He put it this way. He said it's a question of public safety above ideology. Is that where we are?
I mean, I think it is becoming a question of ideology now and not about public safety, unfortunately. If you take two buckets and you fill them with all the MS-13 and all the valedictorians in the undocumented population, my bucket of valedictorians is going to be much bigger than that bucket of MS-13s. These people are not criminals for the most part. These people are very good people.
Do you know that?
I do. But I mean, like, the criminality element.
But if the law is saying one thing.
So ICE is saying one thing, police is saying another thing.
How can you defy the law?
But this so sanctuary cities, just you know, from a perspective of the attorneys who are working every day, the people from these faith-based organizations are saying that it's actually not, and very clearly not, a violation of sanctuary city laws. Now, we get into some deep legal semantics if we actually explore that argument, but more importantly than that, like I'm saying, it's at a very high level. People of faith, and we are men of faith, and people who respect men and women in blue, men and women in uniform, the police in this country, which we are also of that, are saying that this policy that Jeff Sessions is pushing is absolutely inappropriate.
Here is the acting ICE director, Tom Homan, talking about this very topic.
The government's not pulling their funding, and it's actually the mayor and the politicians who made the decision not to cooperate with us. They're the ones that actually pull their own fundings. If you harbor, conceal, or knowingly shield an illegal alien from law enforcement, that is a crime. So I've asked the Attorney General, we need to look at this and find out, are these jurisdictions on the right side of that law?
He went on to drop a stunning figure. He said 10,000 illegal aliens released from prisons in one jurisdiction have reoffended and gone back to jail.
Well, it kind of goes...
If that is even close to being true, that is extraordinary.
But it goes back to that study that I was referring to earlier, that these people, they are reoccurring, again, arrested 7 times for an average of 12 crimes. And you go back and you look, and again, Bill, the whole term sanctuary city to me is very Orwellian. These cities are in defiance of the law and harboring illegals. And quite frankly, and I know you would disagree with me on this, Pablo, but they are harboring illegals and favoring them over the law-abiding American taxpayer that is funding these cities.
Understood. Pablo, give you the last word. And by the way, there are lawsuits out there, and I'll talk about them next quickly.
2 things. Ned, first of all, the term sanctuary isn't in Orwellian. In fact, it's very Christian. And second of all, the reality is that the funds that they're trying to deny the police officers who would be who they're trying to take money away from as a part of the sanctuary city activism by Jeff Sessions are the money that they use to buy bulletproof vests. So they're endangering the actual physical security of our men in blue on the streets.
That's a decision of Rahm Emanuel and others to do that.
To both of you, thank you for your time. I appreciate the debate. Chicago, by the way, is suing, and the state of California is suing as well. So we'll be back on this. Ned, thanks. Pablo,
Bill.
thank you.
Thank you, Bill.